Alright, that's played for a whole minute. I know that's been really interesting to look at. I'm, interestingly enough here, we're going to show that. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the show. I'm your host, Rod, coming to you live from the RV studio, Santa Cruz, California. Got the hat and the glasses on because frankly this light above me is, well, good for the lighting but bad for my eyes. So, you know, I'm not like trying to be fucking Cowboy Anonymous over here. So today's episode, I was scrolling through the news feed and discovered that they finally found a verdict for Bill Cosby. Guilty as fuck. Man, America's dad. In a court of law, definitely a rapist. I mean, like, I get it, right? Fucking 50 women or whatever come forward and lay claim. It's hard to start to, like, say, oh, that probably didn't happen. Like, especially with somebody like Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Like if 50 women right now came out against Brett Kavanaugh, I would be suspicious. I'd be like, okay, that's an awful lot of Democrats that don't want him to be the Supreme Court leader. Or, Supreme Court Justice, excuse me. However, this is Bill fucking Cosby. I mean, there's no way 50 women have just a fucking shitty grudge against Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Like I already know what you're thinking, but take a step back, stop being so fucking emotional, and think about this logically, okay? Is there a potential for someone politically motivated to try and derail or in any way, shape, or form interrupt Kavanaugh's appointment? And is it of such a fucking ideological importance to someone that they may very well lie and put their entire reputation on the line at risk? Could they think that that was worth it if in the end they could affect the outcome of quote, Trump's pick? Right? Like, yeah, that's fucking possible, okay? I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, it's possible. Now, am I saying that Kavanaugh didn't fucking try and pin that girl down and fuck her in high school? I don't know. Maybe. Probably did. I got no staker in the fight, so to speak. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying logically, yes, it's entirely possible that it could all just be bullshit, specifically to keep him from becoming a Supreme Court justice. Like, that's possible. But there's no way, right, that like 50 different women have got like that kind of grudge against Bill Cosby. Like, there's no political gain there, you know? It's America's dad. He's fucking Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Like Jello and shit, right? Like, we all remember Bill Cosby, you know, growing up as fucking America's dad. So, you know, to have him be accused, and everybody, by so many people especially, you know, and have everybody go, okay, like, yeah, there's probably something here, that makes sense. Now, what's interesting, of course, is as soon as the page refreshed, I cannot fucking find anything in here about Bill Cosby. Now it's just all back to Trump and bullshit. And I had to get all the way down here to the entertainment page 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago, whatever, right? I remember I played that fair use business earlier. Well, now's not the time for that, but thanks, Fox News. 14 years after he gave Andrea Constant pills that left her incapacitated at his home, Bill Cosby was found guilty by a jury of sexual assault. Again, this is a big deal. You know, Bill Cosby is a rich and powerful fucking person in Hollywood. And, I mean, it took everything else that's going on in America right now, I guess, to make this matter. So I'm pretty stoked, I guess, to see, what looks like maybe the beginnings of some justice. Now, obviously, yeah, I'm disappointed, that Bill Cosby is a fucking rapist. See, we can say that now, by the way. If anybody's out there like, what is this guy talking about? Everybody knows Bill Cosby a rapist. No, we didn't know. See, that's why we have a fucking justice system, and why we have court, and why there are jurors, and there are defense lawyers and prosecuting lawyers, and that's why it's a whole thing. Because until we have that whole thing, we can't actually definitively say Bill Cosby is a rapist. Now, we can definitively say Bill Cosby is a rapist. Do you understand? And that's fucking important. I don't know where we left this particular portion of the justice system behind when we started looking at social justice. But just a thought, social justice folks out there. Justice requires due process. Justice is not, oh, I don't like what that guy said, or I think that guy did something wrong. It's a whole process, So there should be a social justice process. Also, is what I'm coming full circle here to, folks. Yeah. But we can now definitively say, without any libel or slander concerns, that Bill Cosby is a fucking rapist. And that is disappointing. That's fucking disappointing. But also, as somebody who's been following the what I would call the original Me Too movement, which was back in like 2011 or 6 or 7, actually, I think it was. That was a long time ago now. When Corey Feldman went on fucking national television and said, yo, I was fucking molested and Corey Haim was raped, right? By fucking powerful dudes in Hollywood who like to fuck children, right? And basically, essentially, out of that came nothing except for Corey Feldman's weird fucking music career and like some kind of GoFundMe for a fucking movie he needs millions of dollars to make or some shit. I don't know. I make this YouTube channel for no money and an RV. I don't even pay rent. So I don't know what the fuck Corey Feldman's doing. But anyway, my point is, anybody that's been paying attention to that since that time is going to be pretty fucking stoked to see this, because this is kind of like justice is starting to make its way into the world. Alright, that was bugging me. It was off kilter. There we go. So sorry, folks. Had to do a little bit of rearranging there on the screen and shit. Oh. So it's good to see. It's good to see our justice system is taking action even against those that might be previously thought to be above action. People used to think, oh, that's fucking, America's dad. Who's gonna believe me? If I say he fucking, drugged me and raped me or whatever. Now, I mean, to be fair, he's 81 years old, so I don't know how much real justice we'll see coming out of this. My guess is he's probably not going to see an actual prison cell. He'll probably be like on house arrest or some shit. The medical costs of fucking taking care of independently a fucking 81-year-old man are pretty, pretty high. My grandpa just got antibiotics for fucking $400. So, because I guess they need special antibiotics. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor, okay? I don't know. All I'm saying is that it'd be interesting to see what the actual sentence is for Bill Cosby. Because I'm guessing, like I said, it's hard to fucking take care of an 81-year-old man in prison. And I mean, he's already 81. It's not like you fucking got an axe murderer when he was 30 and now he's 81. He's just been in prison. I mean, we don't let those guys go, but I mean, shit, when I went to jail for 10 days, I was sentenced to jail for 10 days for probation violation when I was 19. I got out a day early for good behavior, and then I got another day out early because it was New Year's and they fucking were overflowing, and I was just a little probation guy. Like, nobody gave a fuck about me. So, have a nice day. You did 8 days in jail. So I'm just saying, I don't think that they'll keep Bill Cosby locked up for fucking any serious duration. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, but I'm guessing not. I'm guessing not. See here, conclude out on second day, judges option board. Cosby could face up to 30 years in prison, but state guidelines for someone like him with no prior convictions call for about 1 to 4 years behind bars. Yeah, like I said, he ain't gonna spend any real time in jail. Cosby's legally blind, uses a cane. His lawyers are sure to point out during sentencing. Yeah. See, I don't even have to read the fucking news. I am the news. Y'all just listen to me. Ooh. So I got some sour diesel here that I got from a grower friend out of Mendocino, I'm pretty sure. I forget where his fucking farms are. None of our business anyway, but I think it's that Mendocino shit. Anyway, it's pretty tasty. It's a little dry, a little old, but I bought it for $60 an ounce, so I'm not too upset with that. And then, of course, I've been throwing this blue Skittles on. Let's see if we can show some of this. This shit's fucking pretty fiery and loud. Yeah, it's not going to do much for autofocus. Sorry, guys. It's what I got. It's what I got. But I throw a line down the side of the blunt so I can taste that blue Skittles goodness. And, oh, is it good? Oh, my fucking neck hurts. That's the downside, I guess, to living in an RV in Santa Cruz, is there is no real flat places on the coast. It's all fucking hills, rolling and shit. And that's great if you're on acid or ecstasy, but it's really not great if you're trying to park an RV and not have fucking chronic neck and back pain, because you're always compensating for the direction that your seat is sitting, you know? Like, I can't actually sit straight up very well. I digress. We'll get back to the news. I just thought you might like to know why I'm fucking acting like some kind of crazy person over here with my head going side to side. I'm just trying to crack a pop spot in my neck that kills. What else is going on in the world today? Kavanaugh, unprecedented move to save his chance for Supreme Court. In question as Christine Ford raises new concerns. So stuck in all of the middle of this is my fucking feelings. How I feel about this all. If you feel, yeah, we are living in Orwell's 1984. National Review. No shit. No shit. I could do a whole fucking section on this. Whole section on this. From the newspeak and the doublethink of political correctness. God, if only Orwell could have read those words. Political correctness, that's what he would have used in the book. He wouldn't have come up with newspeak and doublethink. He would have called it the same thing, and he would have just called it political correctness. Political correctness is where you take doublethink and newspeak and you fucking smash them together as one fucking guiding mythology for a fucking civilization. And it's goddamn catastrophic. And don't get me wrong, okay? Yes, you shouldn't use the N-word, and depending on company and attitudes, you should probably not use the word fag usually either. However, and I said that because the F word, I mean, that could leave you, fuck, right? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's a fag. I'm gonna say it. If you can't handle it in fucking, context, then fuck you. I don't care. But my point is that the political correctness has you believe in shit that is just not true. Everyone has a right to be identified, or rather addressed however they like, right? So like personal address, like I prefer Rod, right? My name is Rodney. but I prefer Rod. I would prefer you call me Rod. Now, if your name is Steven, but you would prefer I call you Suzanne, I'm going to call you Suzanne. That's perfectly acceptable, and that's perfectly respectable for you to expect me to address you in a certain way when I'm fucking talking to you, right? But if I'm with my fucking homies, and I'm out at the beach, and we're smoking a blunt, and I'm talking about Steve, my old boy, who is now my fucking home girl, right? If I choose to still recognize and identify Steve as a fucking man who prefers to be called Susan and wear female clothing, that's my fucking prerogative, and no one can tell me how I have to identify anything. You know, there's being respectful and decent, right? You know, like I said, Steve wants to be called Suzanne. I'm gonna fucking call him Suzanne. And I'm not gonna tell him that he looks like a fucking weirdo, even if he does look goofy as fuck. I'm not gonna be a dick, right? But I'm not gonna sit here and fucking feel shame in my heart for thinking Steve looks like a fucking fool when he puts on that dress and that wig. He does. He does not look like a pretty lady. That's my fucking right to identify that, and I'm allowed to internalize that. And this is where political correctness goes awry, because political correctness teaches me that not only should I shame someone in my presence for believing or thinking that way, but that I should also self-regulate my own thoughts and my feelings to adhere to this arbitrary fucking notion that Steve is Suzanne. He's not. He's Steve. I'm gonna call him whatever he wants to be called, because that's called being respectful. It's just being a decent human being. But if you walk up, hand me a kitty cat, tell me this is your dog, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm allowed to fucking, or better yet, if you come in and hand me your puppy and tell me, oh, look at my baby. Look at my baby. Is my baby cute? No, your puppy is fucking adorable. But you have yet to have a baby because you're the kind of person that calls your fucking puppy your baby, and no one wants to fuck you. Unless you're a super hot chick, and then we let you get away with it. But if you're a dude and you're doing that, no one wants to fuck you. Are we living in 1984? Yes, we are. Fuck you, T-Mobile. Don't sign up for T-Mobile. I do not endorse that advertisement. Fuck T-Mobile. Okay, actually, I was looking at T-Mobile. They're probably not too bad, but... Truth, due process, evidence, rights of the accused, all are swept aside in pursuit of the progressive agenda. Well, I totally agree with this statement. That's what I was just talking about with the Bill Cosby thing. Like, it's a good deal that Bill Cosby's actually been, like, put through the ringer in court. But the rest of this, I'm not really going to fucking... Yeah, and, she has no longer a sense of due process, free inquiries, rules of evidence, cross-examination, much less presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Instead, regimented ideology, the supremacy of state power to control all aspects of one life, and force fossilize the emancipated quality. That's so true. So fucking true. Well, it's officially 9 o'clock. That's the 9 a.m. alarm. Always got to have one of those. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to call it for the day. We're already 20 minutes into a stream, and I really just wanted to talk about how Bill Cosby is going to fucking probably house arrest, but nonetheless going to be held accountable for date raping people, or rather just straight up raping people, I guess you could probably call it. I don't know why we always differentiate. Maybe that's more political correctness. I didn't say I was fucking 100% inoculated. I just said I don't believe in this shit. You know what I mean? There's another thing. After protesters find Cruz at D.C. restaurant. If y'all fucking followed that. So Ted Cruz is just like sitting down at a restaurant, and the next thing you know, he's got some fucking hippie in his face screaming at him. I didn't watch the video. I read a little bit about the article, so I'm just guessing here, but I'll watch here in a minute. I'll be right. But screaming at him about his comments over the Kavanaugh case. Probably screaming, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your daughter? Let me tell you right now, just so we're clear. If I had a daughter, we'll use my little sister. She come to me and says, Rod, this fucking guy pinned me down last night and tried to fuck me, but I got away. You know, pinned me down by my throat and tried to rape me, but I got away. No one would know where that guy went. You feel? So, if that was my daughter, right? We wouldn't be having this fucking discussion. Brett Kavanaugh would have never become a judge because he would have been dead in high school. Just saying. I'm just saying. On that note. Anyway, these fucking people up here screaming at Ted Cruz, taking their anger out at Brett Kavanaugh on Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is a fucking douchebag. Not a fan. But I do think the guy should be able to sit down and have a fucking meal at a restaurant without being harassed over some shit he's not even really involved in. Well, he's a public figure and he made a public statement. No, he's a public figure who made a statement that went public. There's a difference. Fuck. First of all. Second of all, it's your own damn fault if you put stock in these people's opinions. Right? Oh, well, he's a senator. I mean, his opinion matters. No, it doesn't. Only if you fucking choose to give it value. To which case, that's your fucking problem. Not mine. You know? Anyway, I'm gonna do this shit like Mr. Rogers. Y'all see me getting ready to go outside. Enjoy this foggy fucking roll off the ocean, you know? Yeah, Ted Cruz. Just fucking having a meal, doing his thing. Next thing you know, he's being fucking harassed. And I'm just saying, okay, like, the right doesn't do this kind of shit very often. I mean, I have seen people on the right do dumb shit like this before, so I'm not going to say that they don't ever do it. But I will say that when I'm looking at the news, more often than not, what I see is people on the left getting in people on the right's face. You know, there's no right-wing Antifa, is all I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Because like a conservative could be anti-fascist, right? Like one could be like, I'm really feel strongly that we should have a strong internal economy and focus on our own growth and our own wealth and focus less on the affairs of the third world, right? That's a conservative viewpoint. You can feel that way and also be like, but I really don't think that we should have fascists in the world, right? So like you could ideologically be a conservative and anti-fascist, but you'll never see a fucking conservative at an Antifa rally. Or fucking, I shouldn't even say that. Antifa doesn't have rallies. Antifa just shows up at other people's rallies and shits everywhere. So that's different. Not by a lot, but it is different. But you never see somebody on the right at that fucking event. And I already hear you. No, but you'll find them at white supremacists. Let's not forget that the Democratic Party started the Ku Klux Klan. Racism didn't used to be a partisan thing. Wasn't only the conservatives were racists and those fucking liberals who wanted women to have the right to vote just loved the N-words. It wasn't like that. Okay? Let's not forget that fucking Abraham Lincoln was a Republican who freed all of the black people in this country. So, goddamn. You know what I mean? We're just saying. Just consider for a moment that history is a cumulative process. You know what I mean? And while I would bet there are probably no what do you say? There's probably no liberals at a KKK rally. There could most definitely be KKK members at a liberal protest. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then you really need to think a little bit farther outside the box of reality and perception, because people are very rarely so one-dimensional. You know, for instance, I got a friend who recently came out of prison, and the whole time I known him, he's been a pro-choice kind of guy, right? Like, not really, like he would prefer, like, if he had a baby coming in the world, there would be no abortion, right? But like if his neighbor was a girl who had an abortion, he wouldn't like spit on her or call her shitty or talk shit about her, give a fuck what she did. It's none of his business. It's her choice, right? Like, he wouldn't want to have one, but like, if other people do, then fucking more power to them, right? That's a pretty liberal fucking stance. You want to have an abortion, have an abortion. Well, the whole time I knew him before prison, he also had no beef with people of color. But now, after prison, the N-word is a pretty consistent part of his day. Okay? Now, I could see him voting for Hillary Clinton and also showing up at a fucking KKK rally. Do you understand? People are not so one fucking dimensional. And the sooner you figure that out, the sooner we can have an actual conversation in this country as fucking citizens instead of buffoons. I mean, not that buffoonery isn't fun. It is. Anyway, that's all I got.